everybody, and welcome. This is the Mahdi.
I am the real Mahdi, not you.
How is everybody
But I
doing?
forgot my beanie. Sorry.
How is everybody doing? When the Mahdi is speaking, everybody else is supposed to be silent and listen. I am the Mahdi, and all others must obey me. I am a Mahdi. I am the new something, and the proof of this is that I have a beanie. See? And I have beautiful hair. Look at my hair. Woohoo, woohoo. Hey, David, what's up? How you doing?
I have to say, I wasn't buying the whole beanie thing as proof that you're the Mahdi, but when I see those flowing locks of hair, I start thinking this dude is the Mahdi. So if he says he wants to have endless tons of orgies to prove it, then who am I to object?
And as soon as we start a live stream, we start talking about orgies. This is how quickly.
This is what you get when you're dealing with the Mahdi, ladies and gentlemen.
And you can see it right here. Let's put this on the screen here and see who the real Mahdi actually is. So on the one hand, you have this charlatan here who is coming out and acting like he's the Mahdi.
Weakling. Look at this little weakling and his stupid chair.
Look how short his hair is. Look, his hair is hanging out there always, but mine is much longer. Look at this.
That is true.
And is also colorful.
You see? So as far as beanies, they're pretty much the same. But as far as hair, you win.
Yes. Powerful, powerful. Also, beard-wise, his beard is kind of shorter than mine.
Yeah, his beard is let's just say kind of on the effeminate side.
His beard is kind of gay, so I have to say.
Yeah, there are places in the Muslim world where they would be like, "Is this a woman? Look at how tiny his beard is."
I think we can hump this one. I think it's a
bang him. Let's bang this fake Mahdi.
David, what's up, man?
Hey, dude. You should have seen earlier when I scheduled a live. And like everything with, why aren't David and AP live streaming together? What's the beef between them? But it was like a bunch of them. Like, why aren't they working together anymore? What's going on? Why aren't they talking about it? David, you need to say something. We all notice. We notice that you guys aren't working together anymore. What's it been like a couple days? So it was like Thursday I went live with Abdullah Samir, mainly because Abdullah Samir was the other guy that Mohammed Hijab's hotel wife tried to contact. It was me and Abdullah Samir. We were the ones she contacted, and I thought, hey, it'd be funny if we did a show together. But apparently when I did a show with Abdullah Samir, people were like, oh my goodness, he's gotten rid of AP as a partner, and now he's got Abdullah Samir. And then the next day I was on with God Logic on the Islamic Dilemma. Why? Because everyone on the show, God Logic, Giant DOC, Chris, and so on, we're all working together on a project. AP's not in that. AP's not in the Islamic. He knows the Islamic Dilemma. He can defend the Islamic Dilemma, but we're in a different kind of project. We're all like going through the Quran verse by verse and stuff. AP's doing his cat human stuff. So we're doing that. And then Saturday, shame on me, I was at my uncle's funeral, and you were going to schedule a live stream with Raymond Ibrahim for that night since I was going to be gone. Then something happened and you guys were going to do it on Monday, but I didn't know that. So for my Sunday live stream, because we normally go live on my channel on Sunday night, but I set up a live stream for 5 o'clock specifically so that if you guys had scheduled something for Sunday night, if you'd moved it to Sunday night, it wouldn't interfere. So I go live early. And then Monday, we're supposed to do a live stream on your channel with us and Raymond Ibrahim. But you were like, I've been fighting all day. I don't feel like fighting anymore right now over this stuff. So can you do it? And I was like, yeah, we'll do it on my channel. But apparently everyone's interpreting all of this as David Wood and AP they're not working together for like 5 days. This means they're at war. No.
It sounds like a bunch of excuses that you're making here. So tell us what really happened. What really happened is that behind the scenes, David and I had a massive fight. And as a result of that massive fight, we were almost going to announce we were going to go live together and announce that we will never work together again.
Yes, I'm now on the side with Jay Dyer and Andrew Wilson. I've joined the coalition against AP and the apostate prophet. He's been a Christian 2 weeks. We must destroy him.
And but then today we came together and said, hey, how about we just don't do that? So then we decided to go live together.
The beef. We squashed the beef.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we had beef for like 5 days, and then we squashed it.
No, I have actually been I have been very, very busy and laid back, and kind of have been focusing on just my own stuff these days. Have been seeking and trying to advance in things, and been focusing on, I don't know, just honestly learning and prayer and stuff like that, which sounds which sounds a lot of fun, I know. And at the same time, I was being attacked online since the debate happened between Andrew Wilson and me by lots of people who were like, "How dare you tell us what to think?" And I'm like, "I'm not telling anybody what to think, you geniuses. How about just leave me alone?" And then I started having beef with Jay Dyer. Now I was going to talk trash about Jay Dyer and call him gay liar this live stream, but I'll decide not to do that. I will not call him gay liar, and I will not talk trash about Jay Dyer, because just before I went live, like an hour ago or so, I actually made an attempt to just squash the beef and stop the fighting, and get in touch and tell him not to be such a jerk, not to attack me all the time, because he's been kind of attacking me nonstop for like 2 days or so for some reason. And with also a priest interfering, whom I asked to interfere, and whom I promised that I will just not talk about, Jay Dyer. As a result of that, I will just not talk trash about him this live stream.
But I made no such promises about that little weakling who talked trash about me first. He drew first blood. He called me a heretic, so I'll call him a sniveling little crybaby whiner who can't take one word of criticism or blocks everyone. Keep in mind, I'm a guy who blocks. I block people for waste if they're going to waste. If they look like they are going to waste my time, I block people. But that dude will like preemptively block people that he talks trash about, so they can't. and then they'll block someone, and then they'll say, "Hey, block," and then he'll unblock them just to insult them, and then like block. Anyway, I don't know.
He did call David Wood AP's handler. That's true, Emily.
His handler, yes, that's why I brought him into my church, the Orthodox Church. And he is a cat. He is a cat human under my priestly duties.
It's
weird. It's weird. I've never followed him much. I saw the 2-on-2 debate he did with Sam Shamoon against two dudes. I'm assuming I've seen a video of him here or there. I can't really think, but I've never I've never said anything. I don't think I've ever said anything weird about him before, but he definitely seems like he's made of glass.
But anyway, so
he definitely seems like a little weakling. So I can see why someone would want to call him gay liar and not Jay Dyer. I'm just saying. What do you think about that, AP?
I can't say anything.
You can't say anything about that little weakling.
There's a lot to say. A lot of people have said lots of things over the last days, and I have said a lot, and I've deleted all my tweets. There's still a lot to say, but I'm just trying to not engage in it. So, yeah, whatever.
AP will not be making fun of any little weaklings during this show.
David, have you heard about what's going on in India and Pakistan?
I've heard there was a terrorist attack a little while back. I did. I talked about it with Robert Spencer on This Week in Jihad, but other than that, I did not follow much. And then I think I saw earlier today that was it today that they started retaliating? India did. I think what I saw was they're retaliating against terrorist targets. So they're not like declaring war against Pakistan or something like that. They were bombing. They were bombing terrorist sites. So they were clear that, hey, we're not targeting the military. We're targeting known terrorist hot spots. I think that's what I saw. And I do not even know if anything I just said is correct.
Wait, so you don't even know about this? Why did I invite you?
I'm here to watch, man. I'm here to watch. I assumed that as the Mahdi, you would know all this important stuff.
Yeah. So what happened today is that India actually carried out a strike on Pakistan, which they had announced in advance. So they several days ago they said that that is as a result of Pakistani meddling and interfering and covert actions and so on and terrorism, India will retaliate against Pakistan and crack down on the terrorists that they apparently cannot control. So the thing is, the terrorist attack that happened that happened on Indian soil was carried out by a Pakistani based.
You said You said based.
I know. I said Pakistani based.
You said it. You knew it. You caught yourself as soon as you said it.
Yeah, I want to delete this whole last stream because I just put Pakistan and based together. But because the terrorist organization is from Pakistan, and Pakistan apparently couldn't control it, so India decided to carry out a terrorist attack.
We'll take that. Makes sense, right? You're not controlling the terrorists. We'll take care of them for you.
Yes. But Pakistan said, if you interfere and carry out terrorist attack on a wonderful country, Pakistan, then we will also respond to you.
No kebabs for you.
And India said, well, come. How about try that? Let's see if that works or not.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. It says India launches airstrikes against Pakistan in major escalation. But it says Pakistan says it downed 5 India fighter jets. I didn't know India had 5 fighter jets, and yet they have all been shot down. India hasn't confirmed losses, says it aimed at terrorist infrastructure after Kashmir tourist massacre. So they're aiming at the terrorist infrastructure, not at Pakistan, even though Pakistan is one giant terrorist infrastructure. You know what's weird about this?
Yes.
This is the weirdest thing to me. 14 centuries ago, the people of Al-Zut, who are from the area of India and Pakistan, united together and gangbanged Muhammad all night long. Not making that up, guys. It's right there in their sources. And yet here they are 14 centuries later and can't get along, and they're fighting. They're fighting each other. It's weird. They united on gangbanging Muhammad, but not but then they're fighting about other things. It's weird, guys. Come on.
That's true. Yeah, that's what happens.
So it's crazy. The hair doesn't look real now. It looks like a wig, but when you have the hat on, it looks real.
I know. So let's see. What does it say here? India strikes Pakistan 2 weeks after terrorist attack. The strikes on what India called terror camps escalated to conflict between the nuclear powers. Pakistan said at least 8 people were killed. All right. India said early Wednesday that it had conducted strikes on Pakistan. This kind of game, I have to put this back on. Sorry for the interruption. We have technical issues.
It's important to have the right look, or no one's going to listen to you.
Yeah. 2 weeks after more than 2,000 civilians were killed in a terrorist attack in Indian-administered Kashmir, the Indian government said its forces had struck 9 sites on Pakistan and on Pakistan's side of the disputed Kashmir region. Pakistani military officials said at least 8 people were killed and 35 others wounded after 6 places were hit in Punjab province and it's part of Kashmir.
That's genocide.
Yeah, literally is. While India in recent years has struck Pakistan-administered Kashmir and areas close to it during periods of rising tensions, the attack on Wednesday on Punjab and Pakistani territory outside the contested region represented an escalation in the conflict between the 2 nuclear-armed countries.
They seem to really emphasize nuclear-armed.
Yes. What's very important here is that both countries have nuclear weapons. So both countries, when they have nuclear weapons, when there is war, could go crazy and bomb the food out of each other. So it's pretty bad, and it can be very spicy.
And
nuclear weapons.
Yep, very, very spicy stuff in India. Yep. And a lot of these places are pretty densely populated.
This is true. This is true. Very, very true. As tensions have sharpened again, global leaders have warned of potentially dire consequences if the two sides fail to de-escalate. The two nations have fought several wars, the most recent in 1999, and have edged to the brink more than once since then. So, yeah, things are getting serious, man. India said on Wednesday that it had struck Pakistan after gathering evidence pointing toward the clear involvement of Pakistan-based terrorists in last month's attack on civilians in a tourist area in Kashmir. It is said it's...
One second. Akash Chowdhury said, the north is not densely populated. What makes you think if you were going to go nuclear, you would just attack the north, Akash? What makes you think that? Who said that? Who said, no, their attacks would be, if they went to nuclear war, their attacks would be limited to the north, and that's as far as anyone in the war can fire. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead, AP.
Yeah.
Apu.
I'm not sure why people are laughing. It's just very
You need to switch AP to Apu.
It said that its military actions have been measured, responsible, and designed to be non-escalatory in nature. It added that it had targeted only known terror camps. In its own statement on Wednesday, the Pakistani government called the Indian strikes an unprovoked, blatant act of war that had violated Pakistan's sovereignty. Pakistan said that the Indian actions will not go unanswered and that it would respond at a time and place of its own choosing. Pakistani military officials said they had begun a measured but forceful response. At least one fighter jet went down on the Indian side of Kashmir News Channel in India reported. It was unclear which country the jet belonged to or what caused it to go down. So you have the sides of the strikes. So India says that it exclusively struck terrorist targets or terrorist cells, cells that belong to terrorist activities and all that. So this is what they have gone for. There were initial reports that the attacks have been, the attacks are on certain civilian targets. The attacks are on certain mosques and this and that. But India said that it is a very precise and direct strike on such targets that need to be taken out, which may be involved in the entire conflict here, and India warned basically Pakistan not to escalate this any further, because India is totally in the right here, right? India has been attacked by Islamic terrorists of Pakistani origin, Islamic terrorists from Pakistan, many times before. The last very big one was
Mumbai massacre.
Was Mumbai in 2008, where they over several days, I believe, carried out multiple attacks and killed hundreds of people. And it led back to Pakistani origin terrorists. This is India is just taking this, and some people were actually expecting that India would take this last terrorist attack as well and not do anything about it. But if we go into how messed up the last terrorist attack was, it would also people would also probably understand why many people inside India, including even many Muslims in India, were looking for India to retaliate and to do something about this, because the terrorist attack that was carried out was pretty messed up. Now, you said you didn't see much about this, but there's at least one video which has been going around, and it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit messed up. So I'm gonna have it here.
Oh, this is that. I never watched it, but this is, it says a guy was on a zip line as the terrorist attack was happening and stuff.
Yes.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. पैर लंबा करो.
This is very stupid. So they don't even want to show the whole video because it's apparently very sensitive. So, but in the video, he goes down with a zip line, but as he goes down, you can hear shots being fired and people running around, and he doesn't even notice it apparently. So And then once he lands, once he comes down, he sees that people are running for their lives and being killed, and so on. Now there were lots of theories about this, such as that this guy is actually knew that there was a terrorist attack, or that these people were in on it. But it turned out that this is an uninvolved guy who was actually just there and who inadvertently filmed the terrorist attack. As he's going down, you can see people in panic running around. And if we go to the details of how the terrorist attack unfolded, I'm just going to go for a few things here from the Wikipedia article, which has it very, very well gathered together. So the 2025 Pahalgam attack was an attack on non-Muslim tourists. Look, you don't see this very often. It really just says was an attack on non-Muslim tourists because of a detail that we will find out in a little bit, for those who don't know, by 5 armed militants near Pahalgam in the Indian-administered Jammu and Kashmir, in which at least 28 civilians were killed on 22nd of April. The militants mainly targeted Hindu tourists, though a Christian tourist and a local Muslim were also killed in the attack. The attackers, armed with M4 carbines and AK-47s, entered the tourist spot in Baisaran Valley, surrounded by dense pine forests. This incident is considered the deadliest attack on civilians in India since the 2008 Mumbai attacks. The Resistance Front, believed to be an offshoot of the Pakistani-based Islamist terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is a Pakistani Salafi jihadist terrorist organization that seeks to merge Kashmir with Pakistan completely. They initially took responsibility. So the terrorist organization here in question took responsibility after the attack happened and said, we have committed this terrorist attack to pressure India to stop populating the occupied Kashmir region with non-Muslims. Later, after the whole backlash and after Pakistan condemned it and so on, they made a public statement renouncing responsibility. So basically saying, actually, it wasn't us, which is very, very messed up. But why would they initially agree to it? Why would they initially take responsibility and then later on take it back? But here is the very, very dark side about it. So you have this this park, right? You have this place here, this entertainment tourist place, this location where people are just hanging out and having fun. And then what you see here happens. The militants singled out the men and asked for their religion before shooting the Hindu and Christian tourists. So this wasn't just unlike many other terrorist attacks that happen around the world. It wasn't just terrorists quickly going in and just shooting everybody. The terrorists actually go in to this valley, into this place, and then ask them for their religion. And once they know that these people are Hindu or Christian, they shoot and kill them, and they spare the Muslims. This is so this is how the attack unfolded. The attackers also asked some tourists to recite the Islamic kalima, a Muslim declaration of faith, to identify non-Muslims. So, for those who might falsely claim to be Muslims to be safe from a terrorist attack, they also asked to recite the phrases of prayer as declaration of faith, in order to make sure that these guys are actually Muslims, because they were there simply to kill non-Muslims. So they go there, walk in as families are having fun, as families are having a good day. They go in there, go to people and say, "What religion are you? What religion are you?" And then once they declare that they are not Muslims, they get killed. That's what happens.
And when I was live with Robert about this on This Week in Jihad, I remembered the Nairobi Mall massacre. That was a massacre, got to be about 10 years ago or something like that, in Kenya. But they actually stormed, a bunch of jihadis stormed a mall, shopping mall, and made everyone sit down. And then they were quizzing them on Islam. And so telling them to recite things and so on. And if you couldn't, they would shoot you. And as soon as I mentioned that, Robert mentioned a bunch of times that's happened. in various places around the world. It's weird that all these people who are just misunderstanding their religion get the same idea.
Yeah.
In completely different parts of the world.
So here is the footage actually. And so there is one very weird aspect about it, which is that you can hear him or them say Allahu Akbar or something at the beginning.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Oh, and here's a bang.
Yeah. And it's kind of unclear to people why why this is being said. Of course, lots of people suggested that this guy is also a terrorist and he knows what's going on and he's in on it. But it's kind of weird that he would just still be there. He would be directly on camera saying that. It could also be that he hears an explosion sound and says as a response just Allahu Akbar, just to as a surprise reaction or something. I don't know. It could be that this guy is completely in on it. I'm not entirely sure about that aspect of it at all. But this is what unfolded, and then you can see this guy thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have fun now." And then you can hear the gunshots. And you can see people running away, noticing, realizing that an attack is happening, and you can see them running for help. He probably doesn't hear it because, when you're sliding down like this, it's probably difficult to pay attention to the gunshots. You have people falling over.
Look. Yeah, see him.
And then I think at this point, you see that he's realizing that something is going on. But this was the infamous video where people are like, which this guy, I think himself, then handed in and said, I accidentally filmed the attack. So pretty messed up. But so this is a very, very dark, very messed up terrorist attack. And because of how it unfolded, because of who took responsibility, because of how it was done with precision by going to people and asking them what their religion is and then shooting them if they are not Muslims. This is just what really kind of united India, I guess, in saying, okay, we have to respond to this somehow. In fact, people were saying, let's just go in and have war with Pakistan. Of the 26 people who killed, 25 were tourists, and one was a local Muslim pony ride operator who tried to wrestle a gun from the attackers. Good. The tourists included several newlywed couples, and the men were shot point blank in front of their wives. The militants spared the women, asking them to narrate the incident to the Indian Prime Minister Modi. The attack further intensified tensions between India and Pakistan and led to a standoff between the countries. India accused Pakistan of supporting cross-border terrorism and suspended the Indus Water Treaty. Yeah, what they did is they had a water treaty in place. India suspended it immediately, and parts of Pakistan were flooded with water and all that. Expelled Pakistani diplomats and closed borders. Pakistan denied India's accusations and retaliated by suspending the Simla Agreement, restricting trade and closing airspace. Some border skirmishes between India and Pakistani forces began along the line of control. Further, India closed its airspace to Pakistani airlines, banned all imports from Pakistan, and prohibited Pakistan-flagged ships from entering its ports. This was only the beginning. Oh yeah, right. Look,
Five participants, 28 deaths.
5 participants. As I mentioned before, so this group, the Resistance Front, they initially took responsibility. Look, it says he claimed, later retracted. So they took responsibility as soon as it happened, and then later they retracted it, saying, actually, it was a mistake, it was miscommunication, it wasn't us. And then Pakistani politicians started accusing India of carrying out a false flag attack to look for an excuse to attack Pakistan.
I started seeing that as soon as it was happening.
Yeah. And of course, India is not buying it, so they are retaliating brutally right now. Today, they launched several strikes on Pakistan, and let's see what else unfolds. At the White House, President Trump called the escalation between India and Pakistan a shame. We just heard about it, he said of the Indian strikes. They've been in the fighting for a long time. I just hope it ends very quickly. Shortly after the strikes, the Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval briefed Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the military actions, according to Indian officials. I am monitoring the situation between India and Pakistan closely, Mr. Rubio wrote on X. He said that he hoped the conflict would end quickly and that he would continue to engage both Indian and Pakistani leadership toward a peaceful resolution. Yeah. David, what do you think about this so far? Exactly. Those are my thoughts as well. Let's take a few super chats here. FLP became a new member. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the cult. FLP, AP, sending you love. Miss your streams. We'll watch what I missed out on later. Good. Do that. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Beatrice Nunes, goodness, you two work a lot. No, we don't. There's literally nobody in the world who works less than us.
That's true.
So, I mean, who works more than less? Yeah, less than us.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
something.
Take it as you wish. I don't care. Drake Nystrom, AP is the true pope. The Catholics stole it. Yeah. Did you see Donald Trump out of the White House posting the
picture of himself as the Pope?
Yeah. No, I for one thought that was pretty messed up. You know.
Well, it's because you're not Catholic. Catholics were like, "You see, he's the new Pope. This is the proof."
I'm not entirely sure. I guess it's like, I guess Donald Trump's attitude right now is like, I mean, this is my last term anyway. Who cares? So he doesn't care anymore. So he just is fine with offending 20% of the nation, and then posting himself as the Pope. It's also kind of weird that the White House now, the government of the most advanced, most powerful, richest nation in the world, is posting memes. So
that is very based.
That is very, very strange.
And
very, 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 very strange. Let's see at the things that the White House posted. It's the freaking White House account, man. It's the White House account. We are not the same. Welcome to the meeting of the United States of America. I know what you're talking about. Lots of the posts here are completely serious. There's nothing weird here going on. See? There's nothing weird. And you are complaining about this. You're saying they're posting memes. They're posting garbage. Look. Totally normal stuff, most of it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Alien arrested for raping a corpse on an NYC subway. I mean, that looks normal. Yeah.
Yep.
That
happens all the time on the subway. That'd probably be the most normal thing I've ever seen on a subway.
Yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yep. I love Hispanics. Yeah, I don't see anything weird here. Totally good. Totally normal White House account. Not sure what you're complaining about. Here, U.S. Army. See?
Why are you saying you don't even have that stuff up on the screen?
Oh, that's funny. See? Here.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Army with lightsabers. Totally normal stuff.
That one has a multicolored lightsaber.
Here you have Donald Trump.
An actual photograph. Donald
Trump is a villain here. I wonder who chose this picture. Like, did they deliberately choose a red lightsaber? I'm not really. Did they think that through? Was it on purpose? I don't really know.
You know, the Force is naturally aligned with the good side. And so the reason the bad guys' swords are red is you have to actually break it, and you have to break the will of the Force, and then it becomes red because it's bleeding.
Okay.
That's true. That's the story.
Okay.
That's the story of why they have red lightsabers.
Good. Very good. Very cool. Thank you, David. Very cool. Yeah. Get out of here, man. What's going on? Okay. All right. Yes.
Just remember when you're reading this line in this article from Marco Rubio, you have to do that entirely in a Latino accent.
I don't know how to do that, man. How do you do a Latino accent?
You have to go, hey, ese.
Hey, I am monitoring the situation between India and Pakistan closely. That's the best I can do.
That's good.
Hey, pendejo, continue to engage. Songs of Relief. AP, did you see Natsuki Takama dubbed one of your videos into Japanese? Had your voice and mouth moved by AI to match Japanese? One about artists and Islam. Who's Natsuki Takama? Sounds Spanish. Sounds Japanese. I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that. That sounds fun. It's probably a good joke.
Hey, as far as Marco Rubio,
Is it a manga thing?
he's of Cuban background, so just read anything he says like Scarface.
I can't do that. You can do it. You do it.
Read his lines. I'm monitoring the situation. So you want to play rough? I'm monitoring the situation between India and Pakistan closely. You want to play rough? That's how he said.
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Terrible.
FWTC smiley face. God bless you guys. Thank you. You too. Joshua Wooden
I
says.
got this for free, man. That was fun.
Joshua Wooden says, I think Dante was 100% correct with the eighth circle of hell being 4 fraud heretic schisms with both Muhammad and Ali in Canto 28, Yeshua Akbar. Powerful, alhamdulillah. Powerful. Have you ever read that part of Dante's thing?
I remember. I don't think I finished the Inferno. I remember starting to read it, but I don't remember certain parts. So I think I must have given up halfway through it or something like that.
The Divine
I was reading it in prison, and I remember reading a bunch of it, and then I gave up. I think I must have given up at some point because I missed some of the cool stuff.
I think what he does is either Muhammad or Ali, but I think it's Muhammad actually, who is whom he describes as in hell with his bowels or his stomach opened up or something like that. I don't know. I barely remember it. Anon 484589, powerful. Songs of Relief. Love the hair, by the way. You should keep it. I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It would be funny if you could actually start over. If you could actually start over and you never wanted to be recognized, you could just wear that for every live stream. And then if someone just saw you walking down the street, they wouldn't recognize you.
That's a good idea. I might do that from now on. Well, if I just wear this for a while, people will basically forget what I actually look like.
They will. You can also delete all your old stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's usually how it works. Condolences, David says Anon. AP, glad to... What condolences? What happened, David?
Probably because I mentioned that my uncle died.
When?
He died. I wasn't close with him or anything like that. But no, guys. Yeah, so my uncle... No, I mean, I grew up around him and stuff like that. What?
Nothing.
This is my cousin Brandy's dad by her mom marrying someone else. So, but yeah, he had cancer and survived way longer with cancer than people thought he would and stuff like that. So anyway, it was all everyone expected. Everyone saw it coming. So it wasn't catching people off guard or anything like that.
Good. So what you're saying is that you're happy. You're pretty sick, man. Yeah,
it's funny. So there they were asking if anyone had any stories. So at the memorial thing, they were asking if anyone had any stories, and I told them this story about me and my cousin Brandy. We were little kids, and our moms dropped us off at the movie theater in downtown Morgantown, but they had raised the price like 50 cents or something, and we only had exactly the correct amount of money. So they drop us off because we're supposed to go see some movie, and then they wouldn't even let us slide on like the 50 cents extra per ticket. And so we're just stuck there. Like, what are we going to do? This is before cell phones, guys. We could just jump on your cell phone and call someone. So it's like, we're not going to sit here like idiots for 2 hours. So let's walk home. Only it's a long way home. We're talking you're talking downtown Morgantown to Saberton, completely different area. But we're like, oh, we know the way. Anyway, we walk home. We walk all the way. Well, we walk to her house. We get there, and her dad, so that's my Uncle Jack. He says, he's like, how'd you guys get back? Like, we walked. He's like, what? You walked from downtown? And so we were in trouble. He thought that was a bad idea. 2 kids walking all the way back there. So he decided he had to beat us, right? I was like, what? It's not even like my immediate family. So anyway, but he said he's going to beat us, and he like leaves and comes back with a stick, like one of those garden stakes for like growing various vines and stuff. Anyway, he comes in with a stick, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good beating here. So he's like, who's first? And anyway, he ended up with my cousin Brandy first. Anyway, he takes her, and then all of a sudden you hear whack, and and then she comes back in, and she sits down on the couch, and she's got this grin on her face. My Uncle Jack goes, what are you grinning at? She goes, because it didn't hurt. She starts laughing. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Right before I get mine, then she's talking about how that didn't hurt. And so right before I get my beating, she's talking about how he's a wimp, and he was basically like Jay Dyer and weak and stuff. And so anyway, so then right before I get my beating, she talks how he didn't hurt. So anyway, and he tries to hit me harder. It still didn't hurt though, right? It still didn't hurt. And so it still didn't hurt. I've been beat way better than that. But I acted like it hurt, right? Because you got to think about the future with your beatings, right? You got to think about the future. Okay, if this guy decides to beat me again down the road, I want him to think that, oh, this is really, really painful. So I was like, anyway, so that was my Uncle Jack. That was the story I told at his memorial. But it's funny because then everyone else is like, but that was the only time he beat them. He wasn't a mean guy. I was like, what are you talking about, man? These are the fun stories.
Nice. The thing is, nobody asked for a story. Dylan,
literally everyone at the memorial was sharing stories.
Nice. Oh, so you were saying that you're happy that he died, which is pretty messed up. I mean,
no. But here's the thing. It was like a parting gift. It was like a parting gift because my brother, who came to live near me, because he was all his stuff, he had a robbery charge and a drug charge and stuff, and multiple drug charges and stuff. That was all in West Virginia. So he paroled to a different state. I said, you got to just completely get out of there. You come live near me. So we actually had to do all the paperwork and stuff like this and get that state to agree and my state to agree. We get all this stuff arranged and stuff. And he paroles near me, and he's crushing it. But his son lives up there, and the state took his son. Normally they would put your son with a family member, but they're like, every CPS, Child Protective Services, like, everyone in this guy's family is either a drug addict or has a prison record, because we're volunteering. We're like, we'll adopt the kid. Well, my brother's in prison, we'll adopt the kid and stuff. And nope, you have a violent felony record. So everyone in the family either has a drug problem or a felony record. So they actually gave my nephew, they put my nephew up for adoption, and so a family adopted him. Anyway, so long story short, I knew he's not allowed to go to that state. He's on parole and stuff. He's on parole and stuff here. He's not allowed to go there. But because it was a funeral, he was allowed to go there. He got it cleared. So he actually got to play with his son, who he hasn't seen in years. So anyway, that was the cool thing about it. Actually got him to be able to go see his son. So that was cool.
Are you done now?
I'm just, for some reason, people are bringing it up. I didn't bring it up. They're all bringing it up.
Okay.
I only mentioned the funeral in response to what went live on Saturday. So there must be beef. There must be all this beef between you and AP.
You see. Dylan says, what is best English Quran? The one I have seems soft and watered down compared to verses your read seems it's corrupted. What do you suggest, David?
It kind of depends on what people are looking for. So you have like the Hilali Khan, that's the one they give to Hajj pilgrims and so on. But they also like pack it with commentary in parentheses to give everything like a good Salafi twist and so on, but they're not really watering it down much. So you got that. Pickthall, it's like in sort of King James language and stuff like that, King James Bible language and stuff like that. But lots of people remark on how accurate the Pickthall is, even though it's been around a while. And then you have like the Clear Quran and the Halim translation. That's the Oxford one, which these are easier to read because they're better English, but yeah, they can be watered down sometimes. So kind of depends on what you're looking for. Probably the most popular for a long time was the Yusuf Ali translation. Just so if you want something that's really popular, you've got the Yusuf Ali. Hilali Khan, that's kind of like a Salafi type version. Sahih International. What do you normally go with, AP? You normally go Sahih International.
I usually go with Sahih International because it seems to be the most. I don't know. It's accessible, and it's pretty good, pretty faithful most of the time to what it actually says, except for a few things here and there. That's what I would say. I'm surprised you didn't bring up Shakira. You usually talk about Shakira forever.
Shakira is actually pretty easy reading and so on. It's not as easy as like the Clear Quran, but it's better than like Yusuf Ali or. Keep in mind, I'm just talking about how the ease of reading. As let's see, English Quran. But what I would recommend, Dylan, is having a couple Qurans and then using a Quran that's easy to read until you get to a passage that sounds like it's important and you're wondering if it's watered down, and then read in multiple translations. So get an easy Quran for most of your reading, and then the passages you're actually interested in, read those in multiple translations.
I am kind of surprised that Shakira actually brought us a Quran translation. I'm kind of disappointed that she never sang it though. So.
Yeah, well, that's why they say ayat don't lie.
Yeah. Salihin Chaudhry says both Momo and Mojab got ravaged by black males. That's interesting. I didn't know.
Mojab? What do you mean?
Mojab and Momo. Well, Momo got raped by black males and Mojab by blackmail. So.
Oh, I get it.
See,
blackmail. I get it.
The prophet of convenience says AP looks like he was rejected by Nickelback.
Nickelback should form a super group with 50 Cent and call themselves Spare Change.
Terrible. I don't know why people make fun of Nickelback. It's my favorite band. AP, you should play the Pakistan grape meme video of the teachers asking what Pakistani kids would do when they grow up. Wait.
What is that? That sounds messed up.
No, it's not messed up. It's just
Is it real or is it a joke?
It's so stupid. It's just a video where this woman asked Pakistani kids what they want to do when they grow up. But some people memed it into all kinds of messed up things. I hope I get one that is without any messed up things inserted. Let's see. Here.
My plan is that I will be pilot and I'll help everyone. Pilot.
Yeah, he's a pilot. Great. You see, this is the spirit. We love Pakistan.
My pledge to my country is that when I will grow up, I will be the scientist like Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan,
That's messed
who
up.
helped Pakistan in making the nuclear power.
Inshallah, we have a bright future. We have here students who are going to make Pakistan the great nuclear nation.
When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India.
Strong army, wow, great!
Who need for like people money and all this.
He's going to help the people in Pakistan. Great.
I will open as much educational institution as possible, and I'm proud to be a Pakistani.
The next generation of Pakistan is going to make Pakistan literacy 100%.
What's wrong with you, man?
People just think this is like the funniest thing ever.
It's pretty funny.
Man. Anyway, let us continue. A spokesman for the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for restraint from two sides, adding the world cannot afford a military confrontation between India and Pakistan. But the scale and nature of the attacks by India are likely to provoke a significant retaliation by Pakistan, said Asfandiar Mir, a senior fellow in the South Asia program at the Stevenson Center in Washington. After attacks against Indian security forces in Indian-administered Kashmir in 2016 and 2019, India conducted more limited strikes in Pakistani-controlled territory, but this time India has crossed two significant thresholds in its military actions by hitting a large number of sites in Pakistan and striking the Pakistani heartland in Punjab, Mr. Mir said. So, as you can see, things are, kicking off, and right now, India boasts that they have struck locations, that they have struck military terrorist targets and terrorist cells. I saw this video here. This video here of an explosion. You can
Yeah.
see.
But, hey,
Allahu Akbar,
but
Allahu
notice that you see an explosion, the guy starts Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, yeah.
So that doesn't mean he's behind it. They just start yelling Allahu Akbar whenever they hear gunshots or explosions or anything.
Oh, we don't know if it was him, or maybe it was him. So
Yeah, well, that's true. Hey, hang on. So there was a terrorist attack. A bunch of people were killed. Then India retaliated by targeting terrorist infrastructure. But Pakistan apparently shot down a few planes. So it's possible they could squash it right now, right? Because both sides did damage. So India could say, hey, we retaliated against these guys for what they did. And Pakistan could say, hey, they did something in our country, but we shot down several of their planes. So possible. If neither side did anything after this, it's possible they could say, okay, we dealt with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. If either side does something again, then the other side has to retaliate again.
So AP News, Apostate Prophet News here.
Most reliable news.
Most reliable, best news
Besides
ever.
the Daily Wire.
Yeah. Says Indian operation codenamed Sindoor aircraft has crashed on school building in outskirts of Srinagar. Airport close to civilian fights in Indian-controlled Kashmir, its main city. India says Pakistani army shelling kills 3 people. Indian operation. Villages report another aircraft crash in India-controlled Kashmir. Pilots recovered. Another aircraft has reportedly crashed in an open field in a village close to the line of control in India-controlled Kashmir, residents said. The aircraft crashed shortly after India launched missile strikes on Pakistan early Wednesday. There's lots of information going around, such as that that Pakistan took down Indian fighter jets or something, but no side has so far, as I can see, actually acknowledged any loss in their equipment. So I'm not sure what the truth behind this is, but we will see further what's up. It's also, of course, the usual thing that 2 very proud sides in a conflict will initially abstain from announcing that they have losses on their own sides. That's what they do. The one thing is that if India and Pakistan go to war, this will have very, very serious consequences. For example, if you want to call tech service, you will suddenly not get anyone on the line. You will go to gas stations; they will be shut down. They will be closed. You will go to the doctor will not be there.
And of course, what you'll have is Western nations, especially the UK, will go, oh no, Pakistan's at war. Let's take in the entire nation of Pakistan into UK cities and give them open access to every 12-year-old girl in the country.
Yes, exactly. So
the good thing is that will make sense in their heads.
The good thing is that we will probably get fewer calls from people who will try to scam us into giving our credit card information and send money over to them or something like that. So,
well, I'm good because I already gave mine to a African prince.
Good. That's a good decision, man. Well done. But so if this escalates, this could lead to something bigger. Let's just hope it doesn't, and let's just hope it stays within whatever it is right now. There is no need for these two nations to go to war, to go all-out war. It would be kind of stupid of Pakistan to do this, considering that that the Pakistani army is probably incredibly incompetent, and they would be defeated by India once again, and it would end in nothing but senseless bloodshed. At least do not involve other nations into this. For Pakistan, the most rational thing would be to stand down and let India do whatever they want to do, and then for us to then continue, or just get out of the region, go somewhere else, let India take all of it, and be done with it. However, we all prefer peace. I hope that that this can end in peace. I would not wish to be serious for the first time during this entire live stream. I don't wish for anyone on either side to be harmed by this.
Wow, Christian AP is way more peaceful than because like 6 months ago you'd have been like, I hope they wipe Pakistan off the map.
But that's what I'm thinking. I'm just not saying it because I'm trying to.
Yeah, you've gained self-control.
No, seriously, I wish for peace, hope for peace, and hope that they see sense and stop Islam. The thing is, whenever there are Islamist groups involved, whenever there are Islamist terrorist organizations involved, wherever there is Islamism, you see conflicts, you see killings of civilians, you see the Islamists themselves and the Islamist side not being able to take care of their own Islamists and so on. It's very, 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 it's very disgusting. And India has a right to defend itself. India has been taking much of this forever. I am, on one hand, glad to see that India is retaliating and being strong this time.
You can't just not do anything. That sends a message to terrorists that, hey, we'll just let you get away with this.
Exactly. On the other hand, sad to see escalations and all that. So, David Kazashi, AP, you should play the Pakistan Great.
Yeah, that's a good idea, AP.
Oh yeah, that's a funny video. Let me bring this up.
Yeah, what's that about?
Your favorite mate said, "Hi, Mr. Associated Press and Mr. Wood." It's funny. Celeria sings, hey, there's another Celeria here. How many Celeria?
There's multiple Celerias.
What's going on? What's wrong with you?
I thought there was only one Celeria.
A second David and AP stream in one night? The other one was not an AP and David.
No,
stream.
AP jumped in for like 5 seconds to apologize on behalf of all Turks.
Yes, which I did. PGU says, I always loved the way Middle Eastern singing sounds. Sorry, I don't know the term for it. Thank you, AP, for introducing me to the Psalm 135 song. I am now in. Good. It sounds wonderful. It sounds powerful. The thing is, I have to be very, very honest here. I think after leaving Islam, I developed a kind of an aversion toward Arabic. And over the many years, I sometimes squashed it a little bit. Sometimes when I listened to Arabic music that sounded kind of good. I think recently with my going to the Orthodox Church, I also encountered certain Arabic liturgy and Christians in Arabic speaking regions, and actually started listening to certain Arabic music in church and thought, hey, this is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I guess there's something about all of this that, brings peace to me, where there was only war inside me. Why are you laughing?
That's a funny line. You should keep using that.
Yes, it is. It's hilarious. Boring politician. Don't worry, you guys. Islam means peace after all. Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. I love with Arabic Byzantine chants. Okay, that's what you say. I can listen to the songs and know they're singing about good things and not about Islam or something. LOL. It's a small thing from you, but means a whole lot to me. God bless you and your family. Love you. No homo. The Byzantine chant, for those who don't know, those who don't get the reference, since we were talking about this forever now, I just can't stop talking about it. Arabic Psalm 135. For those who want to give it a
Hey,
listen.
hang on though. I just before I forget, this sort of thing. Love you, no homo. We should change that. You can't because you're under orders from a priest, but the rest of us can say love you, no Jay Dyer. What? Yeah, the priest is going to be like, you have to stop hanging out with him. He keeps trying to tempt you into saying something.
Well, I'm not really under an order by the priest. I just
There's like a suggestion.
Yeah, I actually went to the priest myself and said, hey, since you were brought into this as well, I don't want to fight with this guy or the other guys. And I'm sick of being attacked by these guys. So I would appreciate if you could just, help out and step in and stuff. And he said, how about you both just stop talking about each other and do like public forgiveness? And I said, sure, I'm completely okay with it. Of course, the other side isn't okay with it, but at least the other side is okay with just being quiet. And since I initiated that, I shall be quiet from now on. But yeah, those who are interested, check out Psalm 135 in Arabic. It's beautiful. It's powerful, powerful sound. Celeria Rosencroix says, "Oops, didn't mean to send that as my alt." See, it was the same person.
Ha ha! Celeria.
Now we know you. Now we know you.
Celeria has multiple accounts.
Victor read, Israel and others warned that these attacks were going to happen, and not just to Israel. No one listens. Jihadis coming to a city near you. Yeah, I also saw that initially I saw some Muslims and others going around saying, "Oh, it's actually false flag by Israel. It's actually Mossad doing these terrorist attacks to distract from Palestine. All eyes on Palestine, all eyes on Gaza. This was probably the Jews." People are very, very insane. Incredibly insane. Rachel, what's up, Rachel? How you doing? Made a super sticker. Let me see what those look like. I want to look at the super. I can't see them here on the screen. Let's see. Rachel. One is a microphone, and the other says game over. Wonderful. And the other says something alert, super alert, something like that. Very nice. Thank you. Chris Creative, Genesis 16:12. Ishmael would be a wild donkey of a man. His descendants' hand would be against all, and all would be against him. What are you trying to say here, Chris?
It is pretty funny that it does say that about, and then Muslims are like, we're the descendants of Ishmael. Muhammad is the descendant of Ishmael. And then they're like, hey, look, we'll do exactly what the Bible says we will.
Goldhub said, this is what converting to Orthodoxy does to you. Nice hair. Thank you.
Hey, AP, you could do your baptism video where you go down into the water like yourself.
Yeah.
But I'll record it. I'll like pause it real quick, and then you can and then when you come out of the water, you're like this with your hair and your beanie.
Yes.
And then you come up out of the water and go, I am the Mahdi.
You know what? I didn't think about this before, but I think you should actually come and be there when I get baptized.
Oh, I can't. I don't know if they'll let me into even though I walk into Orthodox church and burst into a ball of flames.
Always have to reference Eminem wherever we go.
All the Orthodox dudes, all the Orthobros will beat me up, man. But yeah, and it's going to be pretty awkward. Me and Jay Dyer standing there watching your baptism.
I know.
And he's like, what about this heretic?
Yeah. The funny thing is that when I go to church now, I encounter here and there people who know me and say, hey, I watch you on YouTube. Hey, I just watched you on YouTube. And then people also say, hey, I saw David Wood on YouTube, and I watch David Wood a lot. It's kind of a funny thing to go to places and have people talk about what I do online. It's funny because when I do something in private, when I'm not online, when I'm not talking about something online, I kind of it's kind of weird to say, but I like not being recognized and just being totally private.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Our last two churches, people they're not interested in there are basically there are a few people in the churches who know me, but they all know me as Marie's husband, because they all know my wife, because she's always super active. But me, I just mind my own business and don't want any attention and stuff. But they're all like, "Oh, you're Marie's husband. Oh yeah, Marie's awesome. Hey," but they all know me as Marie's husband. They don't even know my name, just Marie's husband. But yeah, I like it like that. I like keeping it like that.
Yeah. That said, I always appreciate it when people come and say, "Hey, I know you," and it's like always cool conversations to have. Very, very nice. But this is why from now on I will go to church like this so that nobody recognizes me.
Oh, hey, hang on. Look at this. Dawood should challenge Jay Dyer to Mubahala. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you weren't
good.
even ready for that, Jay Dyer. I challenge you to Mubahala, bro. You're gonna say I'm a heretic? I challenge you to Mubahala.
Jay Dyer, we challenge you to Mubahala.
Do you even Mubahala, bro? Do you even Mubahala? Huh?
See,
You call yourself Orthodox? Pfft.
see. Yeah, no joke. So it would be fun. It would be funny if you attended my baptism, but if you walk into a church, they will probably call you or kick you out because you're a heretic. So that's the thing.
That'd be funny if a big fight broke. They're like, "Get out of here!" I'm like, "No, I was invited by AP to his baptism." They're like, "Get out now!" I'm like, "No,
No,
And
get
then
out
big
of
fight breaks out. Big fight breaks out, and it's like, and they're all like, "Oh no!" It ends up in the news. One Protestant beats up 20 Orthodox who tried to kick him out of church.
You know, this is the funny thing. I'll be joking about this, but this is the funny thing about it. Lots of people point this out in the Orthodox sphere. When you go to an actual Orthodox church and you go among actual people, real people who are Orthodox Christians, it's like extremely friendly, extremely welcoming, and open to everyone and all that. And then you go online. And you have a bunch of Orthodox anonymous accounts who are like, "Oh, how dare you? You have to be like this. I decide what you can and cannot do. How dare you?" Like, there is a huge disconnect between how Orthodoxy is done online and how it's done in real life. And it seems that there's something about it that attracts certain people online who are very, very far detached from how Orthodoxy is actually practiced in real life. And I like how it is practiced in real life. I don't really like how it's practiced online. The online version is kind of messed up. Funny. You see, AP is real popular, right? Meow. You see, yeah, that's
Right,
true.
meow.
Rachel Zekovich says, "David lacks the ability to know suffering of loss, so therefore I envy that. By the way, Jay, now I know why you dissociated into the self. By the way, I know why you dissociated into the self." Exactly. See? In your face, David. Thank you, Rachel. Abraham Harb, yo, AP, I was rewatching a debate with Wilson. Look, I love you with the love of Christ, but if you continue to pronounce Saint Cyril with a K, I'm going to have to eat a whole Quran in protest. Abraham Harb, the correct pronunciation is Kirill.
Yeah,
I hate to do this, and I hate to do this to you, but the correct pronunciation of it is not Cyril, it's Kirill.
And so if you have to eat an entire Quran in protest, let's see it.
Come at me, bro.
Come at us.
Come at me, bro.
Post it online. See what happens. Let everyone know why you're doing it.
Come at me, bro, and I can prove it to you right now. See? I can prove it to you right. I will humiliate you. I will destroy you. You see? Here we have here we have Saint Kirill of Alexandria. Let's see. Let's look at it. Let's look at it right here. So here you have Kirill of Alexandria. Here you have his name here. It says ancient Greek here. Kyrillos.
Oh, yeah, that's a K.
Kyrillos. Alexandrias. So if now in the English-speaking word people pronounce it as Cyril because they pronounce the C as both K and C, this is not my fault. It's your fault.
And if you don't like that, you can eat every Quran in the world. Do it. Do it. Do
How
it.
dare you? How dare you? I will destroy you and I will humiliate you with all the Qurans that you eat.
I have to say, Cyril sounds like a nerd, whereas Kirill doesn't.
Yes. Yes. Jack Ray, David Wood. Another point of similarity. I'm named after my uncle Jack from West Virginia, who grew up 2 counties west of where you grew up. He was blood relative, though. So strange. Well, that's awfully strange, of course. Strangest thing I've heard in my entire life. Thank you, Jack.
Hey, what if it's the same Jack?
It probably is. Kairos the Great says, I'm Pakistani. Pakistani army control everything, including education, demonizing real heroes, non-Muslim, and praise Muslim invaders as their heroes. Yeah, this is a big problem with Pakistan. With Pakistan, there is a big system of there is a great totalitarianism when it comes to the education of the culture, as usual in Muslim countries, unfortunately.
That's why they block so much of our crap.
Yes. They want to control all information, which is why my channel is even blocked in Pakistan. You can click on my channel, and David's channel probably too. Raisin-bred Pakistani journalists are fantasizing about taking Indian Bollywood actresses as sex slaves in the event Pakistan invades India. That's what they do. Fat stupid bastard says, David, I need to poke your eyes with my toes.
Well, you can try. You won't be getting those toes back.
Justified Concordian says, hey, AP, sorry that you've been dealing with so much stuff lately. Also, Dr. W got my mic in the mail today. Gonna work some Islam vids on dilemma argument.
Oh, nice. D Wood
Very,
likes
very...
D Wood likes videos on the Islamic dilemma.
It is totally based.
Rat Boyd says, breaking I and P at war again. Shocker. Yeah. Viti Coconut. Everyone is saying it's because of the Kashmir attack. We all know it's because of the New York woman taking over Pakistan. The New York woman taking over Pakistan. Yes, exactly.
Christianity is based.
RFB 79 says, if they spray Pakistan and India with disinfectant, they will all kaput, dirtiest place in the world. This is pretty racist.
This is the most racist thing I've ever seen.
This is pretty racist. I urge you to abstain from this. Also, Abraham Harp, who just challenged me. Here's my final message to you.
I'm your teacher, boy.
Okay. Abraham Harp, I have a Muslim customer. Guess what their name is? Wait. Muhammad. It's Ezra? What the?
You were wrong.
It's Ezra. They are God of the Jews. You see, powerful. Well, it's if you encounter a Muslim, there's always a 50% chance that the name is Muhammad. So, yeah.
Even the great God Ezra has converted to Islam. Now all Jews must become Muslim too.
You see. That head, it's a fair statement to say that India and Pakistan are in the same situation as Israel and Palestine, or are there key differences in this instance? Good question.
The key differences are India is more powerful than Pakistan, but Pakistan is significantly closer to the strength of India than Gaza is to Israel. India doesn't have nearly as many haters. So you're not going to, in other words, you're not going to see protests around the world. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that India tried to retaliate against terrorists. How shame on them, shame on them. The similarities are, it's basically that you had British people drawing lines in order to keep people sort of separate to try to keep them from killing each other. And it just doesn't work.
Freaking British. What's wrong with these people?
British screw everything. Look, oh, let's draw a line here. And then, okay. Then they just start attacking.
Oh, we're advanced people. We got the responsibility to fix these people. We're so British, man. Not sure why they're talking like this, but the British had this whole idea of just thinking, oh yeah, we are in charge of the whole world, man. We are civilized. We are civilized. We know exactly.
We decide where all the lines are between all the countries.
We draw the lines. Here's
and then
the
it's
line.
Endless, and then it's endless bloodshed.
And if we draw this line and do this, obviously this will fix the problem. Anyway, now let's go. And then suddenly the whole region is fighting to death.
Yeah. Real solution. Take down the line between India and Pakistan and Bangladesh and let India have it all.
Well, I know exactly what to do about this conflict. I will go there and I will draw this line. And once I draw this line, the primitive people in this space will respect the line that we drew because we are advanced British people. We are advanced British Western people. And since these people are far beneath us, they will respect the authority that our line has. And thereby, all the conflict, all the problems in this region will be entirely and permanently solved. Anyway, now that we have done this, and thereby put an end to an otherwise endless war, let us get out of here. Oh, wait a minute, they're killing each other. What happened? Basically, the entire story of British colonization. What's wrong with these people? Yeah, it's also kind of weird that India and Pakistan, Israel and Palestine, I versus P, which is totally something that I just came up with and didn't see in the super chat that we just had. Very, very, very interesting. But the situation is also different in some other ways, insofar that India and Pakistan are basically two places with the very same population. Those in Pakistan are just the very same people. They're basically Indians who converted to Islam, and also who got mixed with all the Turkic people and who came and raped them and then made babies with them and then brought forth the current Pakistanis. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Born Slippy says, can y'all please do an improv of Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab explaining to Lily J what Rada al-Kabi is? Rada al-Kabi is. Rada al-Kabi is. Explain what Rada al-Kabi is, David. I give you 2 minutes to research.
Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab.
Muhammad Hijab.
Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, Muhammad Hijab. I'll give you 2 minutes to prepare for this. Tracy Wilbone says AP comes out of the mud. AP comes out of the mud pool the sun sets in. According to Islam, flips his hair and declares Christ Lord. Exactly. This is exactly what happens. Exactly what happens. This is exactly what happened in my life. Queen Hyena says, AP is now here goal, sending as many people to both of your channels as possible. Appreciate you both very much. Blessings from Barbados. Thank you. Appreciate that. Who gives you
Barbados,
the authority,
man?
Who gives you the authority to send people to our channels? How dare you? But thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. And greetings to Barbados. Mary Mac. AP looks like Atheist Magic the Gathering, bro. I didn't even understand the reference properly here. Zed had India should resolve the conflict by challenging Pakistan to Mubahala. Yeah, Pakistan, if you're right, how about we do Mubahala? And Pakistan will say, well, how about we do Mubahala? So and then they will do Mubahala, and then that's
And Pakistan will say, do you even Mubahala, bro?
Yeah, that's pretty racist. What's wrong with you, man? What? You're doing the accent now. David Kazashi, I'm the true patriarch of the Orthodox Church, and I canonize Jay Dyer as the patron saint of all that's gay.
AP, you can't keep acting like the beef is squashed. Where you keep laughing at all this stuff. You can't just. Oh, I'm not saying it, so I can crack up laughing at everything that happened.
Well, I'm just laughing at how bad this is. You can't just help. You can't help it. This is what happens. Oh, hi, Dr. Mary's husband Wood.
Hey, how's it going?
Urinating Broom says,
urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Ape, you're still a cage human. You shouldn't be talking, doing live streams, showering, eating, breathing, urinating, or anything else. Orthodoxy 101. Yeah, powerful.
Yes, all that you should be doing is spending every waking moment whining about Jews.
The funny thing is that I heard this line like many times now over the last week. Oh, you just entered the church. You're just catechumen now. You shouldn't be lecturing others on what they should and should not think and believe. And the thing is, I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, didn't they challenge you on that?
Yeah,
they challenge you.
They like it. Literally goes like this. Look, I'm going to make this very simple. It literally goes like this. In fact, let's do this together here. I'm a catechumen, right? Right now,
a cat humans.
No, actually, let me be the ortho bro here, and you're a Kate Schumann. Okay.
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 Ready?
Yeah. David. So what do you think about the Jews? What do you think about them?
I don't know. I've only been a Christian for like 5 minutes now, but I was already supporting their right to not be exterminated.
Oh,
But
shut up!
No.
Shut up! Shut up! You just joined the church. You're a catechumen. You shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't be preaching. You shouldn't be telling us what we can and can't believe. How dare you lecture us on what we should think as Orthodox Christians? What's wrong with you?
But I'm just
What's
thinking I'm
wrong with
supposed
you?
to love
You should take a
people
break
and
from social media. Take a break from social media. You're only a catechumen. Focus on your things. How dare you? You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to preach. You're not supposed to lecture. You're just a catechumen. You're not supposed to do any of this stuff. You are supposed to shut up and go away. I don't want to see you here.
I hate this place. I hate this. I should have never joined the Orthodox Church.
brother, what is wrong? All you had to do was just to pray and listen to your spiritual father and all that. So I'm not sure why you're doing this now. But you're just causing fights here. Obviously, you're just causing fights here. You're causing fights. You're instigating fights here, and you're lecturing us on what we should believe. And so, sorry for how things went here. I'm just really trying to be very, very good to you. You shouldn't be lecturing others. If you lecture others like this, unfortunately, people will start reacting to it, and you're causing a lot of trouble, and this is just not acceptable.
Why is everyone attacking me? What have I ever done? What name
How about
I've ever said about anyone else?
How about just log off? Just log off. Delete your account, maybe. Focus on your stuff. Why are you trying to lecture people on what they should and should not think about? Why are you trying to defend Jews?
Fine, I don't care. Jay Dyer's gay. What?
This is basically how it all went down. Batman says 7-Eleven versus 9/11. Pretty.
That's pretty messed up.
Pretty.
For anyone who didn't get it, that was the India versus Pakistan, 7-Eleven versus 9/11. Very racist.
Powerful. Abraham Harb, let the Quran eating begin. You're finished, boy.
You're the
Do
one who
it.
promised to eat an entire Quran.
Do it,
and
Abraham.
we don't believe you're going to do it. We don't even
Do
believe
it.
you. Only one way to prove us wrong.
I will find you. Once you eat the Quran, I will take that Quran out and will feed it to you again. Force feed it to you.
Yeah, video or it didn't happen.
Yeah. Hello Yidi says AP looking and sounding like Osho, but the people. You mean this?
But the people are retarded.
Owen Robertson, 7-Eleven versus 9. Whoa.
That's a different one, man. That's even a different one.
This is going too far.
That's a different person saying that.
That's pretty racist. What's wrong with you? Like Matthew Gayon says, LMFAO at the Quickie Mart Mubahala challenge between India and Pakistan. Seraphim
That
says,
would be a funny video, like an Indian guy and a Pakistani guy and like a 7-Eleven challenging each other to Mubahala.
but we do Mubahala, solo problem with
No, I can't do
Mubahala.
the Mubahala.
Zedhead says, wait, Pakistan could not shoot down 9 Scalp missiles, which were launched 400 kilometers from Indian territory, and other media claim 7 were shot. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't believe that either. It's pretty nonsensical. So India has crushed it so far, and Pakistan should just shut up and sit down for a second. The war originally started when the British drew a line in the sand, and Mohammed thought it was the Didi line and crossed it to meet with Al Zut.
Yeah, that's the problem. So the British are like, let's draw a line, eh? Bloody good show, jolly good. And then the Pakistanis are like, oh, is this the Didi line that we have to cross so we can go bang Muhammad again? But
my wife says, don't you know all the saints had to log off when they were catechumens? That's exactly how it works. Born Slippy said, can you all please do an improv of Ali Dawa and Muhammad Jibab, explaining to Lily J what Rada al-Kabi is?
yeah, that's 3 characters, man.
Who is that? Muhammad, the other guy, and one of his wives, isn't it?
What?
Involved in this whole thing. And then you have to do that yes. So you have to take on the voices of Ali Dawa and Mohammed Hijab to explain to Lily J what exactly went down and how this thing came into existence.
No, that's breastfeeding adults, man.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. Which is an issue between Muhammad and his wife and the other dude that was involved. We have to explain how exactly that unfolded to Lily J.
No, I don't think that's what they'd be explaining to Lily J.
Shouldn't they be explaining how the issue
they would be explaining that since she's in the Dawa scene now and has to work around them, that the only way for them to be around her. But this is what you do according to Muslim sources. The only way that they can be around Lily J while they're all doing Dawa together is for her to breastfeed them. Both of them. And it's the only way to avoid any sort of sexual tension. Because then, if anyone's new here and you don't know what this issue is, people came to Muhammad. Muhammad, what do we do? My wife's at home and she's around this guy. She's around this guy while I'm gone. How do I know that he's not banging her while I'm gone? And Muhammad said, don't worry, just have your wife breastfeed the guy 10 times and he'll be like her son. And then there won't be any sexual attraction to them. So just have your wife toss those big rounds of boobas of hers into this dude's face and right into his mouth over and over again. And then, you know, your wife won't be messing around with this dude while you're gone. That became a thing. And you've got Muslims who still defend it. And then you had actually Mohammed Hijab asking another Muslim, hey, can I suck on your wife's tit? Can I suck on your wife's tit to make a mahram? And then he gets called out for that. Is that when he said he was actually he was on medication and it made him do this?
Yes. He said, I've been taking some big pain medications and that's why I have a problem. That's why I said some really messed up things.
Yeah. And we know that Mohammed Hijab always speaks the truth.
Yes.
About everything. He doesn't just lie to cover his tracks and so on. He doesn't lie to cover up the things he's done.
That's very, very true. Here's a very funny comment here, and we have to deal with this every so often. Where Bilal Ahmed here says, doesn't your scripture say Prophet Lord had sex with his daughters? Now, I hate to break it to you, Bilal Ahmed, but do me a favor and please Google Prophet Lot. I'm just trying to make a point here. Google Prophet Lot. Yes, just Google it. What you will see here, once you Google Prophet Lot, should tell you something if you have a little bit of intelligence. And I'm not trying to insult you, although you totally deserve it. But so if you Google Prophet Lot, what you will encounter is the primary result will be Lot in
Islam.
Now, why do you think when you Google Prophet Lot is the first thing you encounter Lot in Islam? Why do you think, Bilal Ahmed? There's also another result here where it also says Lot, a biblical person. Lot was a man mentioned in the biblical book of Genesis.
Yes, was indeed a person mentioned in the Bible. Look,
So
he was a
why?
man mentioned.
Why is he mentioned separately as a biblical person who is just mentioned in the Bible and then also mentioned as a prophet in Islam? I can tell you very simply why, which will just expose very quickly that you just do not know what you are talking about. And you should probably learn. You in Islam call Lot a prophet because in Islam, a religion of pure ignorance, everyone who is mentioned somehow in the Bible or somewhere else, who finds himself in the Quran, suddenly becomes a holy person or becomes a prophet. However, in the Bible, Lot is not a prophet.
Mm-hmm. And in the Dawa scene, which is where they use this, they're too stupid to realize actually what's going on. So think about all the problems. So one, they say, oh, how can you say the Prophet Lot did this? Lot's not a prophet. He's a guy. He's a guy. He's Abraham's nephew. Two, if you pay attention to the story, it's actually making an important point. Yes. Lot, unlike Abraham, always takes the easiest route, right? So they both have tons of animals and livestock and so on. And Abraham's like, hey, we need to separate. We need to separate. So you pick what you want, and I'll go with the rest. Abraham just trusts God. Lot, he picks what he believes is the easiest road. Eventually goes and he's living in Sodom. He's eventually living in Sodom. God decides to protect him anyway, so warns Lot to get out of Sodom with his family. They actually go. Lot and his daughters end up hiding in a cave. They think the entire world has been destroyed, so they have to repopulate the world. That's what the daughters think. We have to repopulate the world, but they know their dad isn't going to do anything with them. But they think they have to repopulate the world, and therefore they get him drunk and sleep with him so that they can start repopulating the world. Again, they're trying to do things on their own and not understanding what God's doing. And who are the descendants of this? The Moabites and the Ammonites, the enemies of the Israelites. So that's the message, that the enemies of the Israelites are produced by incestuous relationship with people who don't trust God. And then you end up with an ongoing warfare between them and the people who do trust God. And so you have all those different things going on. And on top of all that, your God, here, we're not the ones who have a problem. We believe in the Bible. We don't have a problem here. Why? Lot could be an axe murderer. It doesn't affect us. What are you talking about? He's not a prophet he's not a prophet, right? So, and he's not a pattern of conduct. So Lot could be an axe murderer. It does not affect us. It affects you because two things. One, your religion affirms him as a prophet. And two, your God and your prophet affirm the Torah that's in our possession as the inspired, preserved, authoritative word of God. So which means you are bound. You don't think you are because you don't know anything, as is evidenced by this comment. You don't even know your own religion. You don't even know what your own book says. You're completely ignorant. But your book affirms our book, and therefore your book affirms the story of Lot. But your book says Lot is a prophet. Therefore, you have to believe, according to your religion, that your prophet Lot had sex with his daughters. We don't have the problem. You got the problem, sport. Better luck next time, though.
Yeah, what happens in the Bible, in Genesis, Lot is directly contrasted with Abraham, who is where Abraham is depicted as the one who is righteous and patient and who trusts God's plan, whereas Lot is a little bit,
he's taking the easy road and stuff, and not trusting God.
Abraham says to him, the land is big enough for both of us. If you go into one direction, I will go into the other. Just let's not fight. So Lot looks around and picks the place that looks the best and looks like it's the best place to live. And he just goes there, and Abraham goes into the other direction. Abraham is fine with it. He trusts God's plan. So Lot finds himself in a place that is wicked, and he lives with the consequences of it. And whereas Abraham is given the blessings, the goodness as a result of trusting in God and being Abraham. This is the parallel. This is the contrast. And your religion doesn't get any of the nuances here and just says, "Oh, Lot mentioned in Bible prophet, must be prophet, man. Why do prophet incest? What's wrong with Lot?"
When it's actually the Bible's making like an important point about you'll have the people who trust God and God's going to take care of them, and the people who do things their own way, and then it ends up causing disaster, and then the inevitable conflicts between them, which we can see right down to the present day going on, even in this live stream. Let me come at your religion because me trust in fake prophet.
Yeah, you have a lot to learn, Bilal.
A lot.
You have a lot to learn. I wouldn't use this whole lot thing. Instead, you should go and read a lot. You should read a lot. You should learn a lot. You have a lot to learn. If you read the Bible, you will see that there is a lot of stuff in there that is completely different from whatever you have learned. And you will see that the Quran has adopted a lot of false narratives.
And false gods, like when Muhammad said that his followers could pray to Allat, Alus, and Manat.
Yeah, exactly. And your religion comes from a place where they worshipped a lot of different things, including Allat and Aluza and Al-Manat. Or Manat, and so on. So I would focus on learning and reading a lot and educating myself.
In fact, just go get a little piece of land, a little lot, and That was stupid. Just go on that little lot and start studying a lot.
Yeah. Don't force it, David. Zedhead, the war originally started when the British, yes. A lava lamp says, hello, apostate Wood and David Prophet. God bless you both. I do my best to adhere all of your content. That's good. I'm glad that you hear all of it. Keep up the good work. Please never back down. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I'm glad that you hear all our stuff, and I hope we can make it worthy of your hearing. Thank you. Oh, sorry, a hearing. Thank you, Lava Lamp. I appreciate that. Martin Oraha says, just paying my jizya. Oh, hi, David. Welcome to the Heretic Club. Being an Assyrian from the ancient Church of the East, we get called heretics by Orthos.
Everyone gets called heretics by Orthos.
Powerful. Holy Joe says, wait a minute, is the ancient Assyrian ancient church? Oh, I think there are 2 or 3 churches that are known as Church of the East. Like there's the Assyrian Church of the East, there's the ancient Church of the East. Which one is which? Isn't one of them just regular Oriental Orthodox, and one of them is even further? Which one is which? What is this? I want you to explain this to me, Martin. Thank you.
I don't know, but David Kazashi says Muhammad also enjoyed his night with Al-Zut a lot.
Powerful. Holy Joe says, Jizya, also Dawood, do you think there will be a critical Quran, not Robert Spencer's, equivalent to Biblia Hebraica or Novum Testamentum?
Yeah, but it will come from scholars and probably won't filter its way down to anyone else in the Muslim Ummah.
Okay, so somebody now says I'm from the Assyrian Church of the... Every single time that this comes up, I have to look up which one is which and what the difference. The ancient Church of the East and the Assyrian Church of the East. This is funny. This is so funny. Like the Wikipedia article, look at this. Why do they do this? Why do they choose these things? Ancient Church of the East, not to be confused with Assyrian Church of the East or Church of the East. Okay, thank you.
Dude, it's like you know what that reminded me of the same names. It's like in New York, you'll have all these pizza places, and it'll be like Famous Ray's, and then it'll be like original, and then someone else will name their place Famous Ray's, and then so you'll have to go with original Famous Ray's, and then it'll be something else Ray's, and then Famous Ray's too, and but like they're all claiming to be Famous Ray's.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's funny. East Syriac, Eastern Syriac, and so on. Okay, I'll have to read about this later. Batman Inc. says online ortho bros are comparable to sedevacantists. Yeah, I think so, actually.
I don't know. Were sedevacantists gay?
They're usually they are considered heretical within Catholicism in a sense, because they reject the authority of the Pope, and they have a completely incoherent view of the Vatican and the Pope's authority. It's kind of weird. They basically argue that the seat is empty and such. Yeah. RFB79. After you read my message, Clorox asked me to participate on a new campaign. Green light, boys. Let's Clorox them all. Very, very terrible. Bo Rudder, was Jay Dyer silent 1 to 3 years? Yes. Hamar says, I wouldn't drink a 9/11 Slurpee. Cyrus the Great says, AP is Bollywood Shaka against Pakistan Army. Abraham Harp says, I'm in country that arrest me for praying for someone. I'm sure live streaming the eating of the Quran will go unnoticed. Stay tuned. Where are you?
Sounds like the UK. That's a place where you get arrested for praying someone. So I'll go UK. But yeah, they're not going to be ready for eating the Quran. Show me that in the law.
You see. Urinating Broom says,
urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Hot take. I think developing virtue is more important for a Christian than hating Jews. How dare you? How dare you say this? What's wrong
No,
with
if
you?
we know anything from the Orthobros, it's that the first thing you have to learn as a Christian is to hate Jews.
You know what's the most messed up thing? There are lots of people going around among their ranks who actually do stuff like praising the Nazis, praising Hitler, praising the National Socialists, and so on, while coming at me, for example, and people like me who simply believe in Israel's right to exist. They think this is the big problem. This is the big problem.
It's the main problem in the world.
But tolerating Nazis, praising Hitler, oh yeah, I mean, this is just, like, tolerate it. There are very few things that where I would cross a line, and this is one where I would happily cross a line. Where I would say that
Not
I
the
cannot,
not the Diddy line, just to be
not
clear.
that one, not
Not
that
the
one.
Diddy line. Yeah.
But I would say that with these people, if they choose to praise the Nazis, for example, or praise Hitler or something like that, for those people, I would say I don't believe for a second that they actually believe in any virtues, that they believe in God, that they believe in Christianity. I don't buy any of it. I think that these people are engaged in profound evil, and I don't believe in the goodness of any of those people. And as for those who tolerate them in their ranks, I would say that they are in a very, very evil plot where they actually align themselves with evil. And I think if there is a place where people are punished for their actions, I hope these people face the consequences of their actions. Instead of focusing on the Nazis who mass killed people and who also, by the way, destroyed religious places and persecuted Christians and also killed lots of Christians. In fact, if you want to argue about it, during the Second World War, technically they killed probably more Christians. The Nazis probably killed more Christians in total than they killed Jews, although they didn't particularly, target them and put them all together and mass kill them. The killing of Jews during the Second World War is so specific and so horrific and the worst of all, because the Jews were specifically targeted with a long plan of collecting them and exterminating them by putting them into gas chambers, shooting them and putting them into mass graves and so on. But the Nazis also went around and mass killed Christian populations in Poland, in Russia, and many other places. So anyone who calls himself a Christian nowadays and who actually tolerates or supports Nazi stuff online shouldn't be talking about the evils of anybody else. They should be ashamed and should probably renounce any affiliation with Christianity. There, I said it. White Lightning 777. Do ask questions as a catechumen. That's how you learn. Yes, JD was cruel, saying those Copts weren't martyrs. He was completely, shamelessly horrible. And I think that's where he got angry at me. He was cool with me. I think the fact that I asked him a follow-up question about the Coptic martyrs, which then caused him to give a horrible, horrible response to it, which then caused many people in the Christian world to attack him. I think he has a grudge on me because of that, because I played a role in him being called out.
Yeah, I mean, think about how messed up that is. Hey, those guys aren't martyrs, they're just heretics. Who cares if they're all slaughtered in the name of Allah? And you say, hey, that's kind of messed up what you just said. Oh my goodness, now I have to spend the rest of my life attacking AP for calling me out for that. It's so messed up. I'm a delicate little teacup. You see? I'm a delicate little flower.
You see? It is very weird, said Scenario.
Yeah. Hey, no, he's really mad. He's like, AP's only been a Kate Schumann for like 2 weeks now, and he's already more popular than I am and already more knowledgeable. Let me just attack him all day. What a crybaby, man.
Pakistan says missile strike killed 13 in Bahawalpur Mosque. Oh.
Wait, did you say mosque?
Yeah, they say here, according to the most reliable AP news, Pakistan says missile strike killed 13 in Bahawalpur Mosque. Pakistani official says Indians missile strike on Bahawalpur must kill 13, including women and children.
Okay, that according to every definition we've heard for the past 2 years is a genocide. And therefore, we are waiting for all the college protesters to be protesting against India.
Yeah. Schools are closed in Indian-controlled Kashmir. Villagers report another aircraft crashed. Fighting disrupts flights between Taiwan and Europe. Well, I was just about to go to Taiwan, man. What's wrong with you people? Bangs heard in Indian-controlled Kashmir, injured in hospital after fire exchange across border.
But not like the bangs that were heard on the night of Al-Zut.
You see, it is very weird, but this issue of making the woman like a mother might relate to 423, not allowed to marry milk mothers, legal technobabble mad. Yeah, many such cases.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind the command about the command was in the Quran. It was in Surah 33. So yes, these are all connected. Yeah, the Surah 4 verse 23. You've got a list of people that you're not allowed to have sex with. Every woman on that list is mahram.
Can I suck your breasts so I can have sex with you? So stupid.
Guys, can you imagine because there have been a couple attempts to like restore that and so on, like, oh, your wife works at Radio Shack and she's around a guy. Well, he's gonna have to suck on her boobs. There have been attempts to revive this practice, and this is what Allah revealed in the Quran until it was eaten by Aisha's sheep. We have to bring this back.
So stupid, man.
Like, could you imagine if like the Ummah still took this seriously and Muhammad's wives didn't conspire to get that part deleted from the Quran? You'd have like women, every woman who's going to school and is around guys would have to put her breasts in all these guys' mouths and stuff. Every Muslim woman who works in a place where there are guys working, she has to breastfeed all these guys to be around them and so on. Guys would probably like it.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to turn this into a song. I think that was a good tune that I just started out with. Peace be upon me says, Bilal Ahmed needs Al-Zut like his pedophile prophet. This is very, very rude and racist. Tracy Wilborn, tell Lily J the story of Muhammad and the Al-Zut. She'll probably like it. What if a man hormonally induced lactation? Could a man become someone's mother? Could this method be used as a Quranically proper way to reduce homosexual tension among male friends?
Only one way to find out.
Yes. This is a good point. This guy just found a solution to homosexuality.
Yeah, only one way to find out if this method will actually work. Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawah are going to have to put this method into practice.
You see. Abraham Harp. I mean, I am pretty based. Can't say the same for my nephew. That's good. Daniel Celine says, AP streaming so late it's early morning in EU, finally getting it fresh. Oh, hi, David Skog. David Skog, that's your new name. Jack Ray, Muhammad's 1001 Al-Zut nights. Guys, go support Rebecca Barsev. Oh, hi, guys. Yeah, go support Rebecca. What's Rebecca doing? Is she still alive? I don't even know. Rebecca is going live tomorrow morning. Yeah. Rebecca. Yep. Peace be upon me. Oh, wait, that's AP. I thought this is Jack Sparrow. It is Jack Sparrow. What are you talking about? It's not AP.
Oh, yeah. Rebecca's going live at 11 a.m. Eastern about the same thing we're talking about now.
Powerful. Love you, no Momo, says Wilmer Lopez.
Love you, no J Dyer.
Abraham Harp, I'm in Australia. Law based that to pray for someone. Law passed that to pray for someone in the LGBT community warrants arrest.
Oh.
So with the Quran eating, my law breaking will level up. Very, very interesting.
So Australia is going the direction of UK. We have to stop people from praying.
Australia is pretty normal to arrest people, considering that the whole island is based on just criminals.
It does make more sense in Australia. Like, they're already criminals anyway. So
Yeah. Krish Pandey, are you going to view India like you view Israel? Am I going to view India like I view Israel? What does that even mean? What does it even mean? I don't even get it. Anyway, no. So, White Lightning 777 said, I'm Antiochian Orthodox. The official church stance on the Zionism is neutrality. We want everyone to become Christian, no to war. Powerful. Yeah, this is the funny thing. You will find lots of these ortho bros and these weird people go around and say, oh, you're a Zionist. You support Israel. You should know that this actually is incompatible with Orthodox Church. It's literally incompatible. It goes against the Orthodox Church. Every single time I asked him, oh, cool, I didn't know that. Can you show me the evidence? Can you tell me what exactly it goes against in the Orthodox Church? Who decided that it goes against the Orthodoxy? Who decided that it goes against Orthodoxy? Who made such a declaration? Which canon? Which council? Who did make such a declaration? And they can never, ever bring any evidence for that, because it's very simple. When we talk about Zionism, certain people try to make it about Zionism in the religious sense. That you support Israel as the biblical Israel, as an end-time prophecy and such, which is why I made it very, very clear, even in my debate, that the Zionism in question here, Zionism normally simply refers to Israel's right to exist. It doesn't refer to anything else. You can argue for some religious beliefs about how Israel in its modern state is actually the biblical Israel, and that there is something religious about it and something end-timey about it and all that. I'm not talking about this. This is a completely different issue. You could argue that that is incompatible with Orthodox Christianity, but simply supporting the modern state of Israel's right to exist is in no way in contradiction with Orthodoxy anywhere. And anybody who claims otherwise shall bring forth the evidence or be quiet forever. If supporting the existence of Israel and the survival and defense of Israel was against Orthodoxy, then so would be patriotism or nationalism for any other nation state out there. It is stupid. It does not make any sense. The churches are also established in Israel. Most Israeli Christians are actually for Israel. Funny thing, most Israeli Christians, when asked, say that they feel they are part of Israel and its problems. The most Orthodox churches, most Orthodox jurisdictions have cordial interactions and relations with the modern state of Israel. The whole discussion about what Israel means in the Bible is completely irrelevant to this issue. And it is usually brought up by people to push an agenda and to be anti-Semitic. That's basically what it is. There is nothing incompatible, nothing wrong with supporting Israel's right to exist as an Orthodox Christian. If you think I shouldn't be saying this, I shouldn't be preaching, okay, come and give me the evidence to the contrary. Then I will accept it. Otherwise, shut up. Anyway, but thank you for this input, White Lightning. I appreciate it very, very much. Proud double daughter dad said, I made a super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And finally, Tracy Wilborn said, what Quran do you recommend to eat? Hafs or Warsh? Oh, David, this is a very good question. What do you say?
Hafs taste better.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there you go. Hafs is apparently tastes better and is better to eat. So that's the recommendation, and we get it from a professional. I mean, we have it from the one from the serial Quran eater who eats Qurans literally for fun when he wakes up. Immortal said, "Can Saitama beat Allah?" David,
Yes.
yes. Okay, there you have it. All right, then that's all we have for today. David, anything else?
Oh, I don't know. I guess we have to wait and find out what happens with India and Pakistan. If they say, okay, you did something to us, we did something to you, we're even Steven. Or if someone on one side says, no, it's not quite enough, we have to do something extra, in which case this is going to keep going on.
Powerful. Let's see what you said. Israel and the church. Father Josiah Tram did a very detailed lecture on Zionism and the church. Let's see. Israel. And
everyone, God bless you.
Oh, I actually see it right here. Well, that could be interesting to watch.
Everyone, God bless you.
God bless you, he said. Thank you. I shall have a look at it and shall see what he says. What he'll probably say is that he'll probably talk about Israel in the biblical sense. And once again, it will not contradict Zionism at all. Because Zionism simply is about Israel's right to exist. I will watch it. All right, David, anything else? What is this? Duocrete says, "Are you the most humble?" Of course, I'm the most humble. What's wrong with you, man?
It says it right there. It
says it right here. It says it right here. I am the most humble. What kind of a question is this? It's right here. Can you not read? Instead of asking me if I'm the most humble, praise me. What's wrong with you? V, you guys are the only people I watch live. I truly enjoy your content. God bless. Thank you. Appreciate that.
We do make good stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. Celia Rosenkraut, Christians must learn to kindle temperance and moderation. This expression of wrath and judgment, which has infected many of us, shows a lack of virtue. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
What are you talking about? You're the one. Oh, I will destroy everybody.
Jack Ray halves just half the calories. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. David, anything else?
No, that's good.
Okay, wonderful. So we will be live again one day. You will be live tomorrow with David Wood on his channel, Jihad Watch.
I'll be live before that. I'll be live at 5. I'll be live at 5 going through it. The group who's working on the Quran stuff is making sure we respond to everything that comes out about the Islamic dilemma, all their pathetic, sad attempts to respond. So tomorrow at 5, we'll be going through Sajid Lipham's. I wonder if we've got a clip of Sajid Lipham that we could use for anything in this live stream. But anyway, we got Sajid Lipham's latest failed response to the Islamic dilemma. We're going to check that out. Then live with Robert Spencer. Then the following day, Thaddeus is going to join me. AP, welcome to jump in, but we're going through I don't know if have you seen it, man? Have you seen the new one?
No.
The new Behind Veils?
No.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to be doing that on my channel. Could even do it on your channel. Either one. But they exposed him for blackmailing the sheikh and so on to keep him quiet. And Ali Dawa knew about it. They were blackmailing that dude to keep quiet because the dude knew about the marriage and all that stuff. Yeah, that Sheikh Tarawan and Tarawiya, whatever the guy's name is.
Shaky booty, actually.
Anyway, it's bad. People are saying that's the worst. And the comment section is filled with people who are like, whoa, I was on hijab side until this. This is messed up.
Based.
But it's really, really bad. So we're going to go through that. And then hijab's fans won't even care still. Shocker.
Nice. I'm very shocked and surprised by what I'm hearing here. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, by the way, surprise.
Whoa!
It was me. It was me all along.
It was you the time. It was you all the time.
Oh man, people were wondering where I was going. Wow. See,
dude, I didn't even know that was you.
Yeah, see.
I thought I was sitting here with the Mahdi the entire time, and we're going to have this awesome show.
Thanks everybody for watching, and as always, which translates to
stay away from Islam.
Did this actually play? Did you hear that, Goat?
Yeah, your mic does something weird when you play it. Your mic goes quiet.
Okay, now again.
There, that worked full blast.
Okay, wonderful.
Stay away from Islam.
Wonderful.